So in this video, I'm gonna tell you exactly why she left you. I know, there could be a million reasons, but what I found after working with plenty of divorced men, plenty of men going through breakups, plenty of men fresh out of breakups, and especially the ones who have gotten broken up with, it really comes down to these very few things that usually happen over the course of the relationship. And once you actually fix this, not only will you have clarity, but moving into further relationships, I'm sure it will never happen again. So first we gotta discuss the cycle of relationships ending and how it usually go. So the first thing you have to know is that it usually stems from a loss of respect. That is number one. It's not a loss of love. It's not a loss of attraction. It's not a loss of anything other than respect. For some reason, she started to lose respect from you as an individual. This is usually because of your actions or the things you were doing, which we are going to discuss. So let's keep that in mind. Number one, loss of respect. Then number two, that loss of respect, that's what led to the loss of love. And the loss of love is what led to the loss of attraction, which then led to a breakup. Now, one thing you guys got to keep in mind is that breakups don't happen like off the rip. If a woman is breaking up with you, that means that she broke up with you 3 months ago, mentally in her head. She just didn't know how to approach it. She didn't know how to, let you down. Sometimes women will try to sabotage a relationship in which, they give you a reason why you need to break up with them. Be it cheating, which is the most disgusting behavior, them, start acting like a bitch pretty much. We've all been there when her behavior changes and you're like, man, I kind of want to be in this, but at the same time, I don't. I might have to break up with her. And so in some cases, you end up breaking up with her. But the truth is, she wanted you to leave her anyway, all right? So let's keep that in mind in terms of the cycle of relationships. Now let's talk about why this actually happened. So number one, you lost frame. When I talk about frame, and I talk about this a lot actually, especially when you start relationships, is that it's essentially the optimal relationship dynamic. Masculine, feminine, leader, follower. Starting from dates 1 through 3, she's confirming fully into your frame. She's allowing you to lead. She's allowing you to be the man. You're not subsidizing yourself to her thoughts, her actions, or what she wants you to do. It's more so what you want to do, and then she complies with that. However, over the course of time, you lost that masculine frame. You stop leading. You start listening to her. And if you listen to a woman in a relationship, I promise you that relationship is doomed to fail. Absolutely. So you started listening to her more. You started doing what she wants. You allowed her to disrespect you. You didn't check it. You over time lost that frame, and it happened so subtly. Most guys don't even realize it. Especially if you live with a woman, that's one of the easiest ways to lose frame. Just little compliance that she's throwing at you constantly. Do this, do that, have this clean, place this here. And over time, you lose frame, which then leads to a loss of respect on her end. Remember our cycle, it first starts with a loss of respect. Now, number two is gonna be simply no excitement. Now, there is a saying, and I will always repeat this saying, and that is you can do anything except for bore a woman. And so, the first few dates, or maybe the first month, or even first few years, you were very exciting. You planned dates, you guys had adventures together. You did stuff, new things that you guys haven't done before. You tried new restaurants, you traveled, you did things that were fun. However, over the course of time, you got complacent. And depending on the woman, she's not always going to be the one who's, trying to be fun and exciting, though those women do exist. But for the most part, even if she wanted to do those things, you didn't. You just wanted to, chill out, Netflix and chill, play video games, not do much. Maybe it's tied to finances, maybe not. The point is, the excitement is gone. There's no spark, there's no fun. But this doesn't always pertain to just lifestyle activities, but also in the bedroom. The sex life started to dwindle down, or when you do it is 5 minutes of missionary and call it a day. You stop pleasing her. I don't want to put the blame fully on you, but at the same time, we must take a degree of accountability here. So think about the time frame in which you had that relationship and ask yourself, did I keep it fun? Did I keep it interesting? Did I try new things with her consistently? Did I show whatever my love language is? And I know there's a whole debate about love languages, but did you show her that? Did you give gifts, acts of service, or just fun experiences? I think that's one thing I've always really tried to do, especially back when I was casually dating in rotations. I knew that if over time I conformed the relationship to us just being in the crib and watching movies, it was going to lead forward. And most times it never did, unless they were really into me. But even then, that has a timeline. However, the girls who every week we did something fun, it doesn't have to be expensive either. We went on an activity. We did things in which she's never tried before. Guess what? Those women stuck around because they always knew something fun and exciting is going to be planned and done for them, which a lot of guys really don't take initiative on. And so that in itself definitely led to a loss of attraction. Now, one thing in terms of complacency that I have to mention is more so life complacency. This is more so for the younger guys. If you are an older gentleman watching this in your 30s, 40s, 50s even, you're probably at that apex of your career for the most part, especially if you've been really been working on yourself. However, if you are still in that development phase and then you just stop, you're stagnant, you stop going to school, you stop working on that trade, you're not progressing in your career, you're a bit comfortable with where you are, sometimes women can seek that out and they can get that vibe, especially if she's very ambitious oriented herself, or she feels like the type of guy, or her ideal vision of a guy is somebody who's always working on himself. Women love ambition, they really do. And so if over time you had the ambition, but then you slowly got comfortable, you stopped, you're really not working towards anything in your life, then that simply led to a loss of fulfillment and respect and attraction in the relationship from her part, especially if she's attractive. Now you can get away with this doing, with the 6s, the 5s, they'll stick with you thick and thin, complacency or not. But if you want to keep an attractive woman, or if you had an attractive woman, best believe you almost have to operate in the mindset that you are single. And I'm not talking about pursuing other women, I'm talking about in the sense in which you still have that same drive to improve yourself physically, financially, career-wise, status-wise, social media-wise, like everything. You want to improve yourself in that same motivation and drive as if you were single. That's what I mean by you gotta have that single mentality. Now, I'll give you this, and it really comes down to this one thing. The real reason she left you is because she felt like she can do better. As simple as that. She felt like she can do better. Because guess what? Women do not leave men in which they feel are their best option. I'll say it again. Women do not leave men who they feel are their best option. The reason why she left you is because she thought there is somebody better out there for her. Looks, career, money, aesthetics, confidence, whatever it may be, she didn't see you as the best option. Even if a woman really didn't like you, but she highly respected you and she saw you as her best option, she still won't break up with you. She won't do it. But for some reason, she looked at you, then looked at the dating market, all the different fish, and said, yeah, I can have another fish. I don't want this one anymore. All right, so that takes a lot of self-reflection. It does hurt when you put it that way, but this is all for improvement, and this is all for clarity too. Because my goal, especially with you guys, moving forward in your dating lives, is to never get broken up with again. If you are gonna end a relationship, it's gonna be on yourself, not because a woman left you. That's a disgrace if I'm being real. Now, if you are freshly single and you wanna get back into the dating world, you want an optimal dating strategy, you are tired of women flaking on you, you want to actually attract a woman who brings value to your life, who is actually attractive, then check out the free presentation down below where I show you how to implement what I call the Romeo effect. The Romeo effect is by far the #1 system in terms of actually attracting your dream woman, increasing your style, your confidence, and your overall social online presence. And I promise you, once you learn how to do this, the woman won't flake on you, you'll actually get text backs, and you'll have so many matches and dates, you will forget about your ex. You'll completely forget about her. All right, so I'm gonna leave a link down below. Check that out right now. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.